just another conspiracy theory. But flat earth, that thought loop is what validates everything else. Because the evidence of flat earth, damn near undeniable. The sun and the moon be up there at the same time. They lie and have us in human governmental slavery right fucking now, currently. What is going on with y'all, man? In this video, I'm gonna give my thoughts on all the pyramid propaganda that's being released, talked about and spread and shared and debated about, philosophized about on the internet. Now, one thing with decoding is two aspects or two angles to keep in mind, right? Two basic standard angles that I'm gonna give y'all. Everything that you see out here, there's a cause behind it. There's a cause behind every effect. There's an agenda behind every idea, every movement, everything going on. And then there's an exact opposite. There's a polarized other argument, other stance, other ideology toward every single thing. So people just debate and talk and get into crazy conversation, just have their opinion and be passionate, and that's just life. That's just how this shit go. Now, since the dawn of the internet in the early 2000s and YouTube, this shit has just exploded to exponential levels. And America is so extreme and so mentally polarized, and everybody is on such an extreme version of what they believe or what they see. Okay? So I haven't even looked into any of this shit. You know, when it comes to pyramids, I actually listened to one white dude in the interview. Don't remember his name, but I've seen all of the black conscious popular creators. Don't mind my car. It talks sometime. I've seen all of the black content creators like Billy Carson talking about it. What's my dude? Infinite Waters. Probably so many more. And y'all probably got y'all own opinion and take on these pyramids. Basically, y'all, it's essentially, I seen that they discovered some hidden underground structures. Okay? Cool. Fine. But why can't the public go in there and look at it? That's first and foremost. Why can't the public go in there and look at it? And number two, everything is going to be debated. You'll never fully know none of anything unless you go see some shit for yourself. We'll never know if the earth is really round unless we go up to space for ourselves, or we know somebody that go up with an iPhone camera and then really fucking video shoot this earth spinning in a round ball, and we can actually see the full curve and angle and size of this shit, right? And ultimately, we'll never know if the earth is fucking flat either, because we ain't sailing across to the ice wall in Antarctica and going over that bitch and freely exploring and seeing if it's potentially other lands outside of this depiction of this globe earth that they give us. Okay? When you look at this right here, this is a depiction of the flat earth, a flat plane, and this outer ring can symbolize Antarctica. Now, on the ball, round globe earth, they tell you that you got the North Pole and the South Pole. Again, the evidence, everything that they tell us, all of the information, everything we're led to believe from NASA, SpaceX, Elon Musk, all this shit throughout our schooling and education history over the last 100 years, because the shit is new. And at times in America, it's been documented that they were teaching flat earth in school. This is not a flat earth video, but it all ties in together to all of these conspiracy theories, the pyramids, Tartaria, the regime that was potentially here before this American, European, and UK system that we got going on. Just laying context. Again, flat earth. So the outer ring would be Antarctica. And then there's potentially outer lands, other continents outside of the ice wall, aka the ring, that we as citizens are not allowed to freely go and explore. They got this shit treated and signed out, and is armed gunmen out there ready to turn somebody back if they was to try to go explore Antarctica by themselves. And y'all, look this up for yourself. The small island that's on the tip of Antarctica that you go to sail and tour, and that you can literally type this in on YouTube. It's called Deception Island. Okay? Again, all truths are but half truths. Gray Gnosticism. This is us remaining in that middle point and attacking things from multiple angles. So yeah, I didn't even lay out the two angles that we are going to dissect this from. And the first being left brain, linear, time, history, mathematical understanding of life. Tracing everything back exactly how it's been recorded in time and taking exactly the information that we get from all of these official sources. So from this aspect, the earth is round. From this aspect, everything in history is exactly how they say it is. From this aspect, it gets more convoluted and debated even still for people that are left brain intellectually stuck. You know what I'm saying? Believing in science and believing in information. But it gets muddied even for these people and it gets muddy for everybody because of the fucking law of polarity. Okay? Let's just make that clear. We're elevating though. We're getting to a very high perspective on how we're seeing and viewing things. All right? Let's keep going. It gets muddy because everybody thinks that it's a fucking different origin of civilization. The Babylonians, the Egyptians, the Sumerians, fucking Aztecs and Mayans, and all of these pyramids are somehow seemingly connected. Allegedly, there's ley lines and energy fields that connect this, that, the other. And it's some evidence to, shit, how can these civilizations have created these pyramids in Mexico and Egypt and them being so far away? What is this detail? What is this? It just leaves you to fucking assume and question anything. And that is life. That is what the fuck we're doing here. No one has the exact same experience. No one has the fucking exact same viewpoint or perspective. We all live in our own different reality. That's how this shit is set up. We are manipulated in so many fucking ways. It's goddamn ridiculous. But ultimately, the name of this game, all you can know is natural law. You will never know what nobody's thinking. You'll never know the true objective fact of how something happened. You'll only know the fucking theories about it. Okay? So essentially all of these are just conspiracy theories. And these are conspiracy theories that I'm actually on the outside of because I haven't looked into it and don't care about it. The fucking pyramids. And I'll tell y'all why. You know, I had a thought some years ago that, you know, for aliens, sure. Egyptians, maybe. Or I'll say sure, because I damn sure don't believe it was fucking aliens that did it. That's just me. But could it have been? Yes. But when it comes to Egyptians, fucking people thousands of years ago, they could have had this process going of building these pyramids over a span of 5,000 years. That's how deep and intricate that shit could have been. We look at it like, oh, how did they get these fucking massive blocks onto these fucking pyramids and create these tall structures and they didn't have the construction and manpower and tools that we have today? First off, who the fuck says they didn't? Who the fuck says they weren't even more advanced, whatever created those, than what we have now current day? Who is to say that they weren't bigger than us? Fucking 20 feet tall, gigantic humans. Who's to say anything? You get what I'm saying? But underground structures built in these pyramids. Okay, these pyramids could just be the top of some temples, of some cities, of some buildings that's buried and covered up over all of this fucking sand and desert. So many angles to attack it from. Again, fuck, I didn't even tell y'all the other side of the left brain, historical, linear, man thinking. The right brain understanding, conceptual, conspiracy, dimensional, creative, spiritual. It's basically not accepting the exact doctrine that's been told or being told. You have to question because this is simply the law of polarity. This is simply getting into the other perspective. Because if you don't do this, you'll be on one side and then you gon' fucking get emotionally attached and pulled in and sucked into an argument. If you can't go back and forth and see that it's always going to be a both side thing going on. So there is no definite truth. All truths are but half truths. All right? But essentially, so much is lied about and shielded from us and manipulated and deceived. There's so much evidence of that why would we believe anything that they tell us if we can't go see and verify it for ourselves? AKA space. Y'all, the information about space, very convincing. But the evidence on flat earth is almost undeniable. Okay? Look into it yourself. I just broke it down a little bit. But it all ties into this. Gray Gnosticism is what we're really tapping into. And I need y'all to understand this because I'm going to decode this movie, Death of a Unicorn. I just went to go see it last night. I took a tab while I watched it. Man, oh man. Great movie. Definitely go tap into it. One of the most polarizing films that I've ever seen. And once I really got home and talked about it and debated with and, you know, went back and forth and heard other opinions on it with the people I watched it with, I was like, fuck. That movie was written by some high-level occultists. The producers in A24, they are some high-level occultists, social engineers or understanders just of the mind and psychology and how people think and work. That's why movies are outrageous. Movies are outrageous, highly stimulating, over-exaggerated dramatizations of everyday natural human life. Now, even when they add fantasy into it, it gets even that more outrageous. So one thing me and my girl was talking about was that she said I ain't gonna get into it too much, but essentially your rage, you identify with rage in movies. Something in you is reflected in that movie that you're watching, and you feel whatever character that you relate to the most. It's 9 times out of 10, their rage, their fucking aggressive stance, their animosity within the movie that is, of course, exaggerated because it is a movie, it is a film, they're acting. Everyday life is so fucking controlled and manipulated, but spiritually we have all of this shit going on inside of us. So again, you identify with somebody's rage. In movies that you may not like, or if something just feels a little off, or it's like, because I like the movie, but something felt off. It wasn't as good as Cocaine Bear that I recently watched. Y'all should check that out. Funny ass movie. And my rage was accounted for in that movie because of Ice Cube's son. The way he handled things, the way he reacted, the way he was in situations, I enjoyed thoroughly how he did his shit and how that movie panned out. And I identify with it. But this movie, as much as I liked it, and as much as I now love it even more because how I see how deep of an occult gem that movie is. And all of the A24 production movies, Midsummer, look that up as well. Some of y'all might have seen it. All right, let's stay on track, y'all. Right brain. This is just the side of you that's, what ideas do you have? What fucking different conception, different understanding, different non-conventional way of thinking and looking at something. Boom. And then beyond that, every single thing that you see, every fucking thing on this planet, TV shows, movies, YouTubers, YouTube videos, music videos, cities, states, money, corporations, advertisements, commercials, music, there is a stated agenda, a hidden agenda, and a secret desire. A stated agenda, a hidden agenda, and a secret desire. So with this pyramid energy popping up, you must understand that everything is a distraction from natural law regardless. Everything is a distraction from your human rights being eroded and taken away. Everything is a distraction from Gaza being bombed. Everything is a distraction. How the fuck do we sit around and talk and debate about anything when this is going on this planet and we so-called are God-fearing and loving people? How the fuck is any of this possible? I'll tell you, because countries are fucking ran by satanic cults and guarded by the police and military that follow their orders and do what they say. And they got heavy artillery and potentially nukes. Because let me tell y'all this, nukes is all fucking up in the air as if that shit is really real. They could be dangling that energy and that mindset over our head that because it's no different from how they dangle space and asteroids over our head that we could get collided at any second, or the fucking sun can blow up. If you feed into any of that left brain scientific intellectual shit and identify with it and believe it, it's gonna have you in fear. It's gonna have you not in the present moment. It's gonna have your right brain, your creative brain, all fucked up because you only going with man's doctrine and listening to the information that you're given and what's being told to you. How you're supposed to be programmed to think and live and move and believe. I ain't seen no fucking asteroids. I ain't seen no fucking dinosaurs. The sun and the moon be up there at the same time. All of this shit look flat. This shit seems to just be some simulation that we living in. And when it comes to the pyramids, nigga, it's so many angles to attack it from. Aliens, human civilization building that shit over the course of 5,000 years, intricately detailed, and families and generations all dedicating their lives and bodies, people dying every single day to do this shit in whatever way, shape, and form that they did it over the course of 5,000 years. Listen to what I'm saying. But you can't disprove it. No matter where you come from, you cannot disprove it because you can't prove that they built it in any other fucking way. So whatever they say they're discovering under, they could have just been doing that shit over the past 20 years. And now coming out just to get you wrapped in and thinking and more involved into this fucking cycle, this fucking game of life, this fucking mind control, manipulated reality that you live in, instead of enjoying your life. Instead of living good, being happy, being free, and being peaceful, making your money and traveling, living good, being strong, being healthy, having a free and peaceful mind. Your mind will never be free if you polarized. I promise you this. Peace and contentment and satisfaction, love, enlightenment, you reach an elation and high level enthusiastic emotions. You reach those levels when you realize, oh, fuck, life is good. Everything is good. Damn, I'm not attached to my ego. I'm not attached to that person that I was. I'm not attached to that situation. I'm not attached to that person that did me bad. Who knows what's real? It's okay what's going on. Everything is good. You reach those levels when you on psychedelics. You reach those levels when you at a wedding. You reach those levels when you see a baby being born. You reach those levels when you watch a sunset. But when you on the internet listening to all of this conjecture, and all of this talk, all of these ideas and assumptions and shit that's based on things that's not objectively provable and true, you're going to always be running around and thrown in a labyrinth. And the internet and the higher ups and those that just want to feed off of your energy and attention, no one understand this. And I'm actually like, I understand that me saying all of this is a message to self because I indulge in a lot of political information, a lot of social shit that's going on that can drain my energy and can drain my creative tap a little bit. But ultimately, especially after last night tapping in with that movie off acid, it showed me just how much every single thing that's written, every single thing that's produced, and mainly movies, they're just a dramatization and manipulation of life. There are stereotypes in movies. The stereotypes are there for you to identify with a character or a program, and then people in life are literally then identified as that off of a fucking movie, off of actors on the screen. They tell you to act right in life. That we tell kids, hey, act right when we go in here, act right around these people. We're programming everyone to be actors, to fall in line, uniformity, conformity into culture. But technically it's all the culture of life. Because even right action, doing right, not causing harm to others, is falling in line, is acting right. So we really tackle this shit from a super Gnostic angle. And even as I am furthering this monologue, it's getting me there. Because again, all truths are but half truths, nothing can be proven. But the only thing we know is that we're living in this endless cycle of eat and sleep and repeat and talk and live and communicate and ideas and things being born and manifested, cause and effect, babies being born. We're all fucking kids. Literally. We all have a shadow self. We all have an inner child. We all have fucking inner child and societal wounds that have made us who and what we are. Things that we're attached to, fears and beliefs that we fucking are holding on so deeply to, that only are living in our head. Literally only living in your mind, something that's holding you back and making you so fucking whatever. You know what I'm saying? I always offer y'all to get down to the bottom of your shit. Get down to why you believe into whatever is being said about these pyramids. Get down to why you man, oh man, I've never been to the pyramids. One day I might go. I've seen all of the videos, and why can't nobody get close to them? Why can't we just climb up on them and see what's up? If they was to allow that shit to be free to the public, shit would get discovered and uncovered for real with iPhone footage and vlogs. Until the day that you see that shit going on more in life, don't take nothing for what they say. It's all conjecture. It's all up in the air. It's all polarized talking and voices. It's all trying to get you to fall in and be sucked into one ideology and belief system, ultimately to get you wrapped into the cult of someone else's thinking. And then their cult is ultimately just a cult of a bigger cult of a bigger cult of a bigger cult. And it's essentially all the cult of life. So we're souls having a human experience. We're born in this shit. We have an ego. We have a persona. We have this voice. We have this conscious mind that talks and decides and chooses. Free will. We attract things and magnetize things through our thoughts, emotions, actions, and beliefs. That's the real shit. So wherever you stand in any situation, you just must understand that there's more to life than being right. There's more to life than getting to the bottom of something. There's more to life than because ultimately what I'm really more so trying to tap into is this astral world energy, the world of your imagination, the world of your mind, the world of your thoughts. Deep meditation, dreams, you wake up in time and money and internet and police and authority. But when you dream, how creative, how unhinged do dreams get? That's the real chaos of the astral realm of where we come from as souls having a human experience. We're trapped down into this 3D reality. We're trapped down into the flesh. We're trapped down into the 5 senses. We're trapped down into the cycle of eat, sleep, and survive. And the world is just manipulated and hypnotized to live in this functioning societal way. Because the tribes in this world that live off the land and got their own native tongue and that shoot bow and arrows at the white man because they understand what the fuck happens once they come into the picture. They understand, they know, they see, they can sense it. So they try to keep them out as best they can. And it is, so the fact that it's untapped civilizations in this world and that have been able to remain that way for years and generations, that just shows that we're living in a controlled society. We're living in time. They operate off the sun and the moon, but we're in nature and feed off the land. We're living in time and money. This is the matrix for real, for real. The right brain, the creative, the spiritual brain is a thought loop. It goes in a cyclical, cycle manner. So you can think and go in circles, right? You can always come up with new creative thoughts and ideas and stack this on top of this and go here in your mind and your imagination, your third eye. Your imagination can be used for positive belief, positive faith, or negative belief and negative faith and negative imagination. And it works and manifests the exact same. But left brain thinking, linear, mathematic, masculine thinking is linear. It's problem solving. It's time based. It's get something done. It's come to a conclusion. It's figure something out step by step. Move on. Leave the past in the past. It really is this understanding of the present moment and just moving forward. Stand in the present is actually the third eye, understanding. But when you are living in the right brain, conceptual, dimensional, thinking, thought pattern, loop, and circle, you come up with so many fucking things. Let me not act like I'm not the fucking king of this shit. Y'all, I've thought, nigga, you don't, but fuck it. I want to give y'all the two biggest things that literally zap you all the way away from this society. Because the fact that Tartaria is a potential ancient civilization that we never fucking hear of. It's not in the history books. It's not in the mainstream media. And not many popular content creators talk about it. You do not hear about this shit called Tartaria. Tartaria had buildings, high structures with electrical and nature conduits, all type of energy feeding, all type of spiritual high living, all type of art, all type of creative structures and cathedrals. Now, the story goes that this regime was throughout America and Russia and the European land. Again, Alaska and Russia, that shit is like connected. So essentially they say that the white man came from over there and entered into the Americans and started taking over and doing what the fuck they've done to this land. But again, Tartaria, it's just another conspiracy theory. But flat earth, that thought loop is what validates everything else. Because the evidence of flat earth, damn near undeniable. The sun and the moon be up there at the same time. They lie and have us in human governmental slavery right fucking now currently. You are working and a fucking pawn in this system, juicing and engineing it up to keep it going. Unless you free your mind from this shit and figure out a way to create and get your own. But until then, we all a part in this system, and it's all good ultimately because we just souls having a human experience. But if you believe and go with man's understanding of time and history, then it'll have you fucked up and muffled in your mind. I promise you this. But when it comes to flat earth, it validates every fucking possible conspiracy theory, every fucking possible thought of a simulation, every fucking possible thought of an evil demiurge creating and ruling this world, every fucking thought of the presidents and the elites lying to us in every way, shape, and form that this planet is flat and that's the main information that they holding against us, and that it's outer lands where they can get other resources and go fucking escape and live, and maybe that's where they do fucking live, and we just live right in here in the seven continents of mind control and manipulation and deception. And they're all out here on these other sides living and farming and having resources and doing human experiments and having unicorns. And they just fucking play with us and depict the movie with a CGI unicorn. Who the fuck knows? But it's all up for potential truth, because all truths are but half truths. Continuous truth realization. I'm trying to tell y'all this shit. Let's change the nation. Gray Gnosticism. Middle point, balance, impartial understanding. You raise to the fucking highest level and look at all sides. That right brain thought loop, it's only destructive because the more you do it, the less time you have to work and make money and fend for yourself and survive in this world. That's why it's looked down on. That's why people don't do it. That's why conspiracy theories and all of the spiritual talking and all of the just talking, the conjecture, because ultimately that's what it is. It's thoughts and assumptions and beliefs that's not based on any proof, any evidence. But there is no proof or evidence of anything other than the fact that we're living under governmental slavery. The fact that wrong action is literally being done upon people on this planet. The fact that police and authority and military literally exist and they follow the orders and do the bidding of their governmental slave masters that pay them. The ones that are above and outside of this system. Potentially living on the fucking outer lands controlling shit. And we're just here in the 7 continents, all fucked up and warring and manipulated and deceived and hating each other and hating this other country, hating this person, all because of the media. All because of social programming, all because of movies, all because of music, all because of politicians, all because of war, all because of violence, all because of wrong action that essentially leads to more wrong action, that essentially leads to more satanic beliefs, more satanic ideology, mindset, and thought process. Me, selfish thinking, not thinking about the greater good and freedom of everyone else in this world. Flat Earth validates it all, because if they're lying to us about that, they're lying to us, and everything is up for conjecture, for talk, for assumption, for belief, for conspiracy theory. And the pyramids is just a small aspect of it as well, because that shit is unprovable. But the evidence of it and the proof of it is right there. But what is it and how did it come to be? Oh, that's all up for conjecture. Clearly, that's my new favorite word, because I heard it in the fucking Death of a Unicorn, and I knew what it meant instantly. And also, it ties into this concept when I tell and talk to people, when we get into conversation and I see something that we all do, is think, damn, but if that didn't happen, then I would have been able to do this. If that didn't happen in this way, then damn, I would have been cool. Everything would have been good. Or it's a blame, and then it's an excuse, and it's not taking cosmic accountability first and foremost. But it's butterfly effect shit. Butterfly effect shit only is when you go back in time and alter something, then the present would be different. But that is the right brain thought loop. That is conjecture. Before I even looked up the definition of conjecture, I related it with my understanding of that. And it is all essentially tied in. All you have is the present moment and your own fucking brain and your own fucking human experience. You have every fucking option to just delete and cut the past and who you were and what you thought and what you did before, and every second regenerate and do new and listen to new and tap into new. And then the unknown is right there for you. With that being said, y'all, I'm going to end this video. I love y'all. Stay godlike.